at the White House. One member who was there, Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma, who is with us now. Also, former White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney here on set. Dan Perry, former AP Bureau Chief in the Middle East, joining us from Tel Aviv, where the sun is about to come up. Senator Mullin, start with you. How are we to read that the Israelis did this in the midst of Donald Trump trying to get a deal to end Iran's nuclear program?
Well, first of all, Israel has a right to defend themselves, full stop. I do know that President Trump, I spoke with him today. We had spoke multiple times over the last week. He has been very clear that he would like diplomacy to work. However, he understood that Iranians are very difficult to deal with. I mean, they're very difficult to deal with. And I don't think it was by mistake that we took out dependents from that region just recently, those that were deployed maybe with the State Department or even maybe the loved ones that may have been deployed in Iraq for a long time. We also took out some non-essential state employees from that region. But I don't believe we had anything to do with this. In fact, Marco Rubio has been very clear with this. The Pentagon has been very clear with this.
You just tweeted, Iran must not target American interests or military personnel,
That's right,
or they will suffer the consequences.
Absolutely. Well,
So
this is a different president.
Is this a way for President Trump to allow the Israelis to take out Iran's nuclear program, which he wanted to do, and say, Israel does it, and America's out, but if you harm an American, then we get to come in?
I don't think we use anybody to fight proxy wars. Who uses people to fight proxy wars is the Iranians. They use the Houthis, they use Hamas, and they use Hezbollah. They use terrorist organizations. If we want to fight, we will fight ourselves. Israel, at the same time, has no problem with being aggressive. Keep in mind, what Israel has done over the last year is they have taken out Hezbollah, they've taken out Hamas, and they've taken out the Houthis and taken out the arms that Iranians fight with. At the same time, they took out their air defense, meaning the Iranians' air defense. They were prepared to do this, but at the same time, there was no way Iranians or the Iran regime could have the ability to have a nuclear weapon. I do believe President Trump was trying to work through diplomacy, but it's diplomacy through strength, not from Biden's point of perspective when he was trying to go peace through appeasement. And so I don't believe we were involved in this at all, but my message is very clear. This isn't Trump. We will defend or this isn't Biden. Trump will defend Americans on foreign soil if we have to.
Mark, let me ask you a question. Trump said something interesting this week. It was really strange. He said something nice about letting Iran maybe develop domestic nuclear capabilities for energy, for peaceful,
energy, right.
Peaceful purposes, which sounded a lot to some people, including myself, like pieces of the JPOA that had been previously negotiated. Do you think that was misdirection, or was that just Trump sort of thinking out loud? What was that? Where did that come from? Because that didn't fit in all the other things that Trump has said. What has Trump been very consistent on? They're not getting a nuclear weapon, period, end of story. So was that JCPOA language?
Well, I'm not here to speak for President Trump,
Sure.
but I do consider President Trump a very good friend, and I take him for what his word. I believe that what President Trump was simply trying to do is saying, listen, we're willing to talk to you, but you have to be honest with us. And we're not going to just trust you. It's going to be trust but verify. Mm-hmm. And if you want to, at the same time, bring your country out of the dark ages and actually start having a trade deal with the United States, we'll even do that too. But we will not, in any circumstance, allow you to have a nuclear weapon. And President Trump has been clear from that from day one.
No question.
All right. And look, the Israelis are saying they had intelligence that the Iranians were within days of having a nuclear weapon.
The best intelligence gatherers in that region is Israelis.
Well, and as evidenced by the fact that they knew where the Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander and the chief of staff of the Iranian...
The floor,
the room
they were. They didn't take out the whole building.
Let's not forget about the pagers and the two-way radios. I mean...
No, it's been extraordinary, and all the nuclear scientists as well. Robert Sherman at the White House tonight, where obviously